So this will be Hong Kong Revolution. Paul, Maureen, and Leah, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, don't seem too excited about it. All right, I'm going to step out. I'm going to hide my video and let you guys take over, okay? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so we are here to discuss the Hong Kong Umbrella Revolution. We have Paul, who thinks it is not a political revolution, and Maureen, who thinks it is. So the Hong Kong Umbrella Revolution, it was a pro-democracy political movement that started during the 2014 Hong Kong protests. The umbrellas were a symbol of resilience against the Hong Kong government. So, Maureen, in your opinion, what is a political revolution?
A political revolution is a revolution in which the main reason or the main outcome is affected the politics of the country. And it can be caused by poor oppressive governments. In this case, the main reason of the revolution was that the protesters were protesting for more political freedom.
So are you actually saying that this was a political revolution?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to add more detail about that, but Paul, why were they protesting and who was protesting during this movement?
So the Hong Kong Revolution began with a group called Occupy Central with Love and Peace, which was led by a Hong Kong University law professor, Benny Tai. There were many other groups that had similar interests, but they weren't as Hong Kong Federation of Students. Those are the two main other groups.
Were they all led by students? Were all of these student-led movements or student-led groups?
Most of the groups were led by students, but the main one, Occupy Central, was Hong Kong University law professor.
Okay. What were the main reasons for these protests?
So the two main reasons that they were protesting were, for one, they wanted a change in the form of government. Hong Kong is already a partially democratic state, and they wanted to become a 100% democratic state. The second reason is that they want the resignation of the current head of state of Hong Kong, CY Leung. They want him to resign.
So in your opinion, between these two main reasons, which one do you feel is more important? Or the main reason for these protests?
I feel as if the main reason for the protest is that they want Hong Kong to be 100% democratic, because if they were 100% democratic, they would have more freedom in the decision of their leader. Currently in Hong Kong, the election works as they choose among a group of people to lead Hong Kong, and Beijing will decide who will run Hong Kong.
Are these groups usually communist groups? Because isn't Beijing or China a communist country?
Yes, it is actually quite biased the way they decide it. Since China would like to stay communist, they usually choose communist parties to lead Hong Kong, which is in great displeasure to the people of Hong Kong.
Okay, so Maureen, does everyone want a change? We already talked about the students wanting to force a change and be a democratic country and have more freedom, but do you think that everyone wanted a change?
No, not everyone wants a change, but some believe that by revolting, Hong Kong is antagonizing China. They are also worried about how it will affect the city's economy due to the fact that it's already really expensive.
So just to clarify, you're saying that the older generation is not for these protests?
Yes.
Again. Okay. So we have got Beijing's perspective and Hong Kong's perspective. So Paul, can you please explain to us a bit more about Beijing's perspective?
So as we all know, China is a communist country, and they are determined to keep it that way. if they were to let Hong Kong, China's most international city, decide who they would want to, there's a high chance that they choose someone that is not communist, which is why they do not want China to become democratic.
So in a way, they're trying to stick with the tradition.
Yes, that is Beijing's main purpose, to stick with China being a communist country.
Okay, so Maureen, what is Hong Kong's perspective in this
Well,
revolution?
as I said before, the younger generation of Hong Kong believe that the conversion of democracy will benefit Hong Kong greatly. And having traveled around the world and seen the independence of other countries, they believe that becoming democratic will help the people of Hong Kong.
Do they think that it would offer them more freedom, or like freedom in their elections? And I
Yes.
just want you to elaborate a bit more about that. Like, explain a bit more. Okay.
Well, the main reason is actually they want to change in government style, which will give more freedom to the people of Hong Kong, even though in any type of revolution, in one way or another, the location of politics would be affected. But when politics is the main aspect, it becomes a political revolution.
So in your opinion, politics was the main aspect of this revolution?
Yes.
Okay, Paul, so I want you to talk a bit more about how these protests or this revolution in general affected Hong Kong's economy.
So even before the revolution, Hong Kong's economy was already struggling. People were complaining that Hong Kong was hyper expensive. With these protests, it is only becoming worse. 10% of Hong Kong's GDP comes from tourism and retail, but people do not want to travel to a country where they are having protests and people are being attacked with pepper spray with tear gas by the police. Traveling agents have
Sorry,
reported that.
Just to clarify, why were they using the umbrellas?
So it is called the Umbrella Revolution because the people were defending themselves with umbrellas against the tear gas used by the police, and the umbrellas also represent resilience from the oppressive government.
Okay, you can explain a bit more about the economy, because I think I cut you off.
So traveling agents have reported that there has been a 30% drop of tourism groups, which is only making Hong Kong's economy even worse.
Okay, so Maureen, you already added a little bit of information on why it was a political revolution, but do you have any more information to back up your statement?
Well, it is because when they're protesting, they're protesting for more political freedom, and it was, yeah, they were protesting for more political. I mean, the rest I've already said it before.
Okay, so Paul, why was it not a political revolution?
So I believe that this revolution was more of an economic revolution because a political revolution is a revolution in which people are revolting against the politics of the location and there's a change in the government. Whereas in this revolution, there was no change in the government, but only it only affected the economy of Hong Kong, making it worse and worse.
So you're saying that Hong Kong was already a democracy and all they wanted was more political freedom?
No, they were partially democratic, but they wanted to be 100% democratic. But the revolution was not successful. All it did was worsen Hong Kong's economy.
Okay, so about what happened after this revolution? What was the aftermath?
So the Hong Kong Revolution was saved from an early decrease because of quick thinking from leaders, but it was not successful and due to problems with the organization of the revolution. The only thing that changed from the revolution was that Hong Kong's economy became worse and the public's view of the police has become even worse will probably never be the same again.
So, Maureen, what were some positive outcomes or some positive effects that happened after this revolution?
Well, even though the revolution wasn't successful, there were the young leaders are emerging out of the Hong Kong population, and young students are leading thousands of people under one idea, which is democracy.
Thank you. So this was the Hong Kong Umbrella Revolution brought to you by Paul and Maureen. Thank you for watching.